morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, third graders. My name is Mrs. Nixon. I am so excited to see you here this morning so that I can support you to become amazing thinkers, readers, and writers. This morning, I was looking at one of my favorite books, The Great Kapok Tree. If you haven't checked out this book, I strongly recommend it. It's just a great story, and you can do that by visiting your county, your local county library, or by visiting Sora. And here in Fresno Unified, we love to celebrate our schools that are checking out books on Sora, and we do kind of a countdown of the top 5 schools that have been checking out books. And this week, let's check out who came in that 5th place. Look at that. It's Bakeman Elementary. So great job, Bakeman. We are so proud of you. You know, if you want to see your school right here on our top checkouts countdown, it's super easy to do. You just go onto Sora and check out a book and maybe tell a classmate or two. One other thing that I want to just kind of point out, we also have our free activity books here at PBS. You can get those to me or get them from me very easily. Do you see that address that's popping up on the screen down below? Just send me a note or an email, and remember to include your address so that I know where to send this free activity book. And you can be working on, there are mazes and word searches and all sorts of puzzles to keep your brain working very smartly. All right. So today, boys and girls, I have 3 things that we're going to go through and practice today. We're going to look at inflectional endings. We're going to work on our suffixes, and then we're going to finish out today looking at root words. You ready to start? Okay, so let's warm up those super smart muscles that we have. Do you remember what they are? Yes, our brains. Let's warm up our brains. We're going to look at our high frequency words. We're just reviewing lots of them that we've looked at before. And remember, you're responsible for your learning success. So as you come across a word today, if there's something that you see that maybe you don't remember how to spell, a great strategy is to write that down on a Post-it note or a piece of paper, and maybe while you're brushing your teeth at night, you can practice it. By the end of the week, I know you're going to have it. Okay, let's look at those high frequency words. Let's read them together. Here we go. Because, big, black, bin, blue, before, both, best, bring, and better. Nicely done. Let's look at 2 of them today. So I've got the words because, B-E-C-A-U-S-E, and big, B-I-G. All right, help me use them in a couple of sentences. You read them big and loud with me. Here we go. Your dog has eyes. And I am a good writer. I practice. Well, I know that big is an adjective, and since eyes is a noun, I know that I'm describing my eyes right here, my dog's eyes. So your dog has big eyes makes more sense. And I'm a good writer because I practice, just like you. I know you practice too. All right, let's go through. We're going to look at those inflectional endings. Now, inflectional endings are just those little bits that we're going to change up our words slightly, like S, ES, ED, ING. Okay. There's always a little trick to some of the spellings, though, and I want to talk about those this week specifically. So I've got it on here. Before we add S or ES or ED, here's some things to remember. When your word has a vowel and then the Y, there's no spelling changes. So I have a couple of examples right here. So I have play, which has A, that's our vowel, and then Y at the end. So when it has an AY, when we want to go and we want to change it to plays, there's no spelling change. We simply just add the letter S and it becomes plays. Well, the same can be said if we wanted to add ed. So again, I have a word that has a vowel and then a Y. So the word is stay, and if I wanted to say stayed, no spelling change, I just add ed, and the word becomes stayed. Here's where we have a little bit of a change. When it's a consonant and then a Y, we want to change the Y to an I before adding S or ed. Now, when we change that Y to an I, we need to not only add just an S, but we're going to add ES. So let's look. So the word is dry. R is a consonant, and then our Y. So if I wanted to say dries, I'm going to change that Y to an I, and then I add ES. You see that? Dries. Same can be done when adding ed. So this has got a consonant, the R, and then a Y at the end. So I want to change the Y to an I, and then I'm going to add ed. So hurried. Do you see how we changed it? Now it's hurried. Okay, let's look down below. It says when we're adding ing, we're going to have a different kind of a thought to remember, and it's there are no spelling changes to any of them. Okay, we only have the spelling change when we have the consonant plus the Y. So I can pick any of these words. Let's take the word hurry, and we're going to make it be hurrying. Watch this. I'm just going to slide it right there, and I don't have to do any spelling changes. It just becomes hurrying. Or how about staying? Again, even though it's got a vowel and a Y, there is no change. So very easy to do. We're going to practice that some today. Okay, let's switch it up just a little bit. We're going to go back. We're going to talk about some suffixes. We've been practicing our prefixes, our base words, and our suffixes. We're going to talk about suffixes. What are they? They're a group of letters that are added to the end of the word to change its meaning. This week, we're focusing on, we've got a couple we're going to review. Less means without. Full means full of. And this one, N-E-S-S, ness, is the state or condition of. Okay, so let's look at what these look like when we're adding them to those base words. Now, base words kind of just stand on their own. They have their own meaning. But if I add less, which means without, if I add less to thought, then I have the word, do you see it? Thoughtless. Good. Joy, if I'm full of joy, I would say I am joyful. Good. And then stubborn, if we're in the state of being stubborn or a condition, we've got some stubbornness going on, right? Okay, so let's go through and practice what this would look like if we were doing this on kind of a worksheet. Okay, so remembering some of our spelling patterns that we were working on when we're adding those inflectional endings. So it says read each sentence, circle the word with the correct S-E-S, E-D, or I-N-G spelling. So read with me. The little boy cried when he fell. What did we say that we do when we have that consonant Y and we're adding the ED? That's right. We want to change the Y to an I and then add the ED. Okay, he dries the dishes before putting them away. Same thing. Remember, we want to change that Y to an I and then add ES. The only time we don't change is when we've got that ING, right? So, oh, look right here. Let's check it out. She is playing a new game. So this is not correct. We want AY. We're not changing it. We're leaving it just like that. Perfect. Last one, my uncle is flying home tomorrow. Which one is correct? Do we ever add an E? No. Remember, we don't change the spelling when we're adding ING. Okay, let's go through and then we'll practice a couple of these down below. We're just adding the suffixes to the following base words and writing the words on the line. So let's look at this first one. Joy plus full becomes, and let's just write it. You could be practicing this at home on your whiteboard or a piece of paper. Joyful. How about spotless? That's right. It's just going to be one word. Spotless. We put it all together. How about one last one? Fitness. Ooh, do you go to a fitness class? That's a fancy way of saying PE, right? So fitness. Nicely done. Good job. Oh, we only have one more. Let's do it. Grace and full. You're full of grace. That means you are very graceful. And we just put it all together just like that. Nicely done. Okay. We're going to finish up our day looking at some root words. Now, when we're thinking about root words, this is going to help us build that comprehension. So we want to be able to pull apart our words and be able to find them, figure out their meaning. If we know the meaning of our root word, it will definitely help us understand the sentence a little bit better. So I have one right here, and it's just, what is the root word? We're going to talk about that. So here's our sentence. Read this with me. They were treated badly. Okay, so if badly is our word, we want to stop and we want to think. So I pulled it over here, so I've got badly. Do we have any prefixes or suffixes that we can pull off of there to get to our root word? Do you see it? Yes. So I'm going to take that ly and I'm just going to move it out of the way. So what is our root word? The root word is bad. Do I know what bad means? Yes. So can that, by knowing what my root word is, will that help me to understand what this sentence is saying? They were treated badly. Would that mean that they were not treated bad? Or would it mean that they were treated in a way that is bad? Badly. You got it. That's it. So they were treated in a way that was bad. It was not good, because we know that bad simply means bad. All right. So this week, we're practicing those three things. We're looking at inflectional endings, suffixes, and root words. As you go through and you're practicing your reading this evening, maybe make a chart to yourself. Can you find some of those words that have those suffixes that we talked about today? The fullness. Try finding some of those words and jotting them down. I know you can do it. All right. With that, I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me today as you're getting ready for school. And remember, you are responsible for your learning success. So listen, ask questions, and share your ideas, because together we can do so much more. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you back here at PBS tomorrow. Have a good one. Stay safe. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.